Good evening and welcome to Vespers. I'm Miranda Lennox and I'll be leading our service tonight. And before we begin, I just want to invite you to make this space one that's welcoming for you, to make yourself into a sacred space, whether physically or in your imagination, and recognize that we're all here to connect together across the distance. And I will begin by lighting our chalice tonight. And I will light them with these words by Melody Beattie, who says, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend." And there's our chalice. It is our tradition in these Vespers services to read these words aloud together. And whether you can read them out loud with your voice with me or just in your heart tonight, I'll invite you to join me in these gathering words. We gather, and because we choose to gather, we belong. Whether we be many or few, across the room or across the world, near or far to our comfort zone, because we gather, we belong. Whether it's easy to find ourselves reflected in the lives of those gathered around us, or we stand out bravely, like the only purple sheep in the flock, because we gather, we belong. We come here to put down our reservations, our sense of removal. We come here to shush the inner voice which says we are alone on the outside. We come here to embrace the beauty of togetherness. We gather, and because we choose to gather, we belong. And now let us sing together this wonderful music all offering In the Presence by Joe Gelinas.
I am present here in the holy presence. I am open, I am listening to the wisdom of the one. Love is all around in the holy presence. Love around me, love within me, in the mystery of the one. Light is ever near in the holy presence. Light of ages, light eternal, radiant vision is the one. Centered in the light of the holy presence, we reach out here to each other, all connected in the one. We are present here in the holy presence.
And now let's join in these words of affirmation and offering, which were written by Brene Brown. Belonging is the innate human desire to be part of something larger than us. Because this yearning is so primal, We often try to acquire it by fitting in and by seeking approval, which are not only hollow substitutes for belonging, but often barriers to it. Because true belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world, our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. True belonging is the spiritual practice of believing in and belonging to yourself so deeply that you can share your most authentic self with the world and find sacredness in both being a part of something and standing alone in the wilderness. True belonging doesn't require you to change who you are. It requires you to be who you are. And before we join in this next song, we want to recognize that we're all here in spaces of different physical ability, different physical situations, and to hold in our hearts the metaphorical, the traditional metaphor of walking as a way of traveling together through life's journey for each and every one of us in our body or in our spirit. So we'll join together in singing Walking with You, offered by Joe Gelinas. And now I invite you into a time of meditation, time of prayer, time of reflection. Find yourself in a space that's just a little more comfortable than it was a moment ago. Allow yourself to become aware of where you are in the room. Ground yourself through your body's contact with whatever surface you find yourself on. And as always, when we meditate, you may choose to sit, or you may wish to stand, or lie down, or walk, or recline. And all of these postures are okay as long as they're conducive to a peaceful state. And you may either close your eyes or just let them fall with a soft gaze on something about 6 or 8 inches below your eye line. Nothing too exciting. Let your body be as natural as it can be in this moment. And I want you to, in your mind's eye, pick up a book. Really picture what size and shape that book is, what color it might be, the texture of the pages. And keep it closed for now, but just turn it over. Bring it into focus. And now you're going to open up the book, perhaps to the first page or the title page, or perhaps somewhere in the middle. And I want you to read the words on that page. And what they will say is, "You belong." 2 simple words. You belong. Read them again. You belong. And as you turn the page to the next page in the book, what arises there is going to be whatever story rises up when you hear the words, "You belong." It could be a story of agreement, or a story of disbelief, a story of grief or refusal. And I just want you to scan that story, remembering that all you're doing is reading a book. Just look over that page. When you get to the bottom of that story and you turn the page again, it says once again, "You belong." And as we enter into this time of silence, I would encourage you to continue leafing through this book, alternating between the words, "You belong," and whichever story comes up for you on the next page. It could be the same story or a different one each time, and always ending with the words on the next page that say, "You belong." And if that feels too weighty, you can just return to a state of quiet, peaceful awareness. We'll return with the ringing of a bell in about 5 minutes. As you return from your state of meditation, let's sing together this song, A Circle Round for Freedom, and we'll sing along with Joe.
Circle round for freedom. Circle round for peace. For all of us in prison. Circle for release. Circle for the planet. Circle for each soul. For the children of our children. Keep the circle whole. Circle round for freedom. Circle round for peace. For all of us in prison. Circle for release. Circle for the planet. Circle for each soul. For the children of our children. Keep the circle whole. Circle round for freedom. Circle round for peace. For all of us in prison. Circle for release. Circle for the planet. Circle for each soul. For the children